Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a whole new episode of Full Steam Ahead. I'm your host, Zoe. Cantu is on my left. Steban is on my right. Happy 4th of July on Independence Day.
Yeah, happy 4th of July, everybody. As you can see, new background right here live, like we told you. Big city wins on navigation. Pretty good crowds for this early morning. Oh, actually, noontime
It's
already.
noon
Yeah,
already, man,
noon. Get a little luncheon over here with us. But nice. How's it going, Sevan?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, but it's kind of hard to concentrate here with all this good food smell in the background.
Oh, you ain't telling me, bro.
Yeah.
But man, birria egg rolls, big city birria fries. I mean, they're gonna have a lot of things going new. Limited time offers here at Big City Wings. It's not this location specifically in Edo. It's all Big City Wings locations in the Houston area. A bunch of new wing flavors as well: spicy tahine, lemon pepper gold, sweet sriracha
That one
That
sounds good.
sounds
Yeah,
crazy.
that one sounds good for me.
That sounds insane. And then they got the chicken dogs, dumpster chicken dog, H-Town chicken dog, OG chicken
I've never
dog.
tried a chicken dog, but hey, we're about to get
try
a
'em.
no, but we're about to try them right now, and we're about to let you know how it is.
And then also before we get started, they got some cocktails. El Jefe, the watermelon sour patch. Have you ever a sour patch kind of guy?
Candy on that drink.
No, not me either. But hey, they might be good if y'all.
El
big
Jefe
Sour
sounds
Patch.
good though.
Yeah, it does. The Firebird, and now on tap that Big City Wings will have is Hoop Tea and
There you
Stella
go.
Artois.
There you go.
So a lot of new things coming here.
Hoop tea.
Hoop Tea, yeah, and it's not Twisted Tea. It is Hoop Tea for Angel Cantu. There's Angel right there holding it for y'all. And we'll have another promo coming in the middle of the show. I know, right? It's real. But in the middle of the show, we'll do another promo with another big thing for Big City Wings coming soon. But, I mean, title of this episode, potential World Series rematch of 271. The Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers are going to play once again like every year. This time it will be at Dodger Stadium, not at Daikin Park. And I think a lot of Astro fans, I'm sitting next to one right here, is very excited for that World Series rematch because I don't know, would you consider this a rivalry between both these teams?
Definitely not a bad look there, especially between, I guess, the speculation of the fan base was around this. So there's something downstairs players I know of it, especially with the history of going back and forth with each other. There's a lot of tension, definitely for sure.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of tension. I mean, I wouldn't say a lot of players are from that 2017 roster. I mean, Jose Altuve, Lance McCullers.
Yeah. Pretty
They
much.
were the only ones
Yeah,
now
pretty
for
much
that
it. Yeah, that's pretty
2017
much it.
team. Who? No, Joe Kelly now with the Dodgers. I think Clayton Kershaw, uh,
Playing.
Enrique Hernandez,
Yeah.
DK, he's on that team. So,
Yeah, that's pretty
yeah,
much
new
it.
new faces in both squads. New faces. Isaac Paredes, Cam Smith, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Ray Freeman. I mean, it's a different team, different squad. So, I mean, it should be a very awesome 2017 World Series rematch and a potential World Series rematch because both these teams are playing good baseball right now. Astros record 52-35, first in the American League West still. 7-game lead on the Seattle Mariners at this moment. Second best record still in the American League, just 3 games behind Detroit, and 8-2 in their last 10 games. They could have had the sweep over there in Colorado, finish off good, but hey, I think the Astros are going to take that series win 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be tough. I mean, you have a rookie on the Dodgers squad going against Lance McCullers, who's been, a little shaky, but then the Astros have their secret weapon. Well, not even secret, like one of their best weapons, and that's Framber Valdez pitching that game too against Shohei Ohtani, who's been kind of limited, coming back from injury, and then TBA versus TBA coming up on Sunday. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, we already got him right now. Come on.
But yeah, we're about to get these birria egg rolls for you. Try them out.
Man. Come on, the waffle fries? My God. Look at that. Look at that.
Right here for y'all.
Come on.
Thank you.
Forks right here.
You know you
Got
want
your- the extra
You know
knives
you
and
want some.
everything.
Appreciate
You
it.
know
Thank
you want some.
Cool,
But
cool. You
that
know
is the
what?
birria fries that I
Here you
just
go,
loaded
Steph.
out
Here you
right
go.
now.
Here you go.
Here's the birria egg rolls right here for you. Man, I love this city just for the culture and the diversity of like different kinds of foods that they have here. And it just shows right here. I mean, birria egg rolls.
Yeah.
Who would have thought of that? You wouldn't have thought that, right?
Really a little better look for y'all. I know y'all back over there morning, all my feedbacks over here.
But yeah, I mean, sure, I'm gonna take a piece.
You know
man.
what?
Go.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this a little bit. Look, it comes with consomme too. These birria egg rolls right
look at
here.
that. You got
Got the egg rolls with some consomme. All
Dip.
That's fire.
right, hold on. Little snack break, real quick.
If y'all don't come today, y'all better come this week. I know you're, bro. Come on.
What's number two? I'm an X number two.
Hey, roll, fire.
Very good.
Ooh, man.
Can I take one for you right here too?
That's what I'm saying. Y'all got to be here. If y'all not here today, make sure you come tomorrow. This weekend, a lot of sports going on. Dynamo are playing away, but of course, it'll be up.
I got a TV in the background here.
Oh, a lot of sports. I mean, you got the bar in the back too. Um,
Maybe you bring your kid and I want to watch some Happy Tree Friends or something. Everybody take the TV three off.
right, you got Astros and Dodgers, of course, still going on. The Gold Cup is coming up this Sunday. Mexico and USA. My God, a lot of great sporting events coming around for the city of Houston. But of course, let's get this episode started. We're going to recap that Rocky series briefly. Jordan Alvarez, big update on his status. A little optimistic about it, but what we'll talk about here in just a second. Player of the Month awards. Two Astros got that accolades. Preview of the LA Dodgers and the Astros. Astros injury updates. And of course, I mean, we have a little bit of time, maybe around the horn. But Cantu, you want to start us off where you can find us, where they could see us, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, first you can find us at Big City Wings today, but you could also find us on X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and at Full Steam Ahead. Instagram is FSA at FSA Full Steam Ahead. You also can find us on Apple and Spotify podcast. But tune in. You know, we're here for you for every Astros update, impact plays, and all that good stuff on social.
Man, I had to take another fry. It was
Yeah,
just
I
too
know.
damn good. I'm sorry. But, I mean, the Astros have been really good on the road, and they're back to that road team that they were, road warriors, that they've been doing a really good job of doing that. And they haven't lost a road series since May 19th. It's insane. I mean, this team is really good. Of course, we got them and the chickens right there. Glizzies, of course, for the July.
Chicken glizzies.
4th of July, you got to have the Glizzies. But back to that real quick. Haven't lost a road series since May 19. I mean, this team has done a really good job on the road so far. And this is going to be a big test for them going to Chavez Ravine at Dodger Stadium and trying to take at least a series away from the Dodgers, because the Dodgers right now, hottest team in the National League, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Like again, 9-1 in the last 10 games, and albeit that was against the White Sox and the Royals, but they're still a team that can put up numbers. Their pitching, I don't know how they find a way to get out because it's been very, injury prone as well. But they do a good job of winning games, and so do the Astros. So it's gonna be a really good series.
Yeah, well, let's recap that Rockies series real quick. Colton Gordon, and they already won that game 6-5. But Gordon didn't finish that outing. 4 2/3, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. A lot of pitches, I would say, was in the zone when he was pitching. A lot of hangers were in there. A little bit of hard contact, I would say, too. But just needed that one out to qualify for the win. But, I mean, you live and learn, especially pitching in a hitter's ballpark like
Yeah.
Coors Field. I mean, it's very difficult to go out there.
Yeah,
and perform.
a lot of breaking pitches over the play, but again, Doninger struggled with that too because the altitude kind of there. It's kind of hard to get that spin rate and that movement on those off-speed pitches.
Yeah, I was, go ahead.
So that wasn't too happy with his plate appearances against Hunter Goodman. Hunter Goodman was able to ambush him. I believe like twice.
Mm-hmm. That was once, but I think twice of that home run against Josh Hader.
Yeah, twice in the game, but once against Gordon, especially when we mentioned that other baseman was going to be in play a big thing here. And it showed that it really proved a lot of people were able to leave the yard on both sides of the team. So, good little recap rundown of what went down here.
Yeah, Hunter Goodman is actually a pretty damn good hitting catcher in Colorado, so they got a bright future with him. I'm pretty sure. Does he really?
All around the field type of player.
Well, I mean, the future is bright with that kid in Colorado. I wouldn't be surprised if he is wearing an All-Star jersey come in July. In
Pretty
Atlanta,
soon.
So it should be interesting. See, look at this. Waiver wire guy. Just like Cantu right here next to me. But anyway, offense real quick. RBI single from Christian Walker in the second. RBI fielder's choice from Jake the Rake Myers hauling down the line and was able to beat the throw, got the RBI in the third. And Victor Caratini. I like how Jeff Blum said, let's get them dry ones out because usually, with a good one like that, I'm a little martini. But Caratini grand slam in the third. It was good enough for the Astros to finish off, win the game. Brian, not to mention that outing, 3 straight strikeouts in the 8th. Josh Hader came in, gave up a home run like Stephon said to Hunter Goodman. But other than that, did a really good job. Was able to pick up the first win in Game 1 of this series.
Martini on the rocks.
This Caratini also against third of his career.
The
I want to say the last one was
Thank
also
you.
there in 2021 against Coors.
Thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, really phenomenal job
This is the
What's this one?
OG chicken dogs right here.
I know, right?
Yeah, man, it's right in front of me too. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of hard right here.
Yeah, but they did a really good job taking that game one. You want to?
One thing I wanted to bring up too as well. Jake Myers batted 373 on the road as of this game, 306 versus pretty much lefty and righty. So he's pretty much same side on both sides.
Yeah, he's been odd, man. I mean, credit to Paredes, credit to Myers, credit to Smith. Them three guys have stepped up with Pena out, Alvarez out. Esau has done a really good job taking over that leadoff spot. Jake Myers, not a lot of people were thinking coming into the season if he was going to be able to hit his way on
Yeah.
at least to the top of the line. I don't think nobody had that on their bingo card. And then Cam Smith, a rookie, coming into this season, haven't played any type of major league ball, only had a little bit of games in minor league baseball. And look at he's already in the cleanup spot, and his OPS is already over 80.
Yeah, we'll talk about him a little bit later, but he's been on fire, and playing in Colorado really helps that too.
One thing I also want to bring up, both guys had the Astros had this season wasn't catchers, Skyner and 13.
Nice. There you go. Cartini's been stepped up enormous amount.
That's why he's always been clutch
Yeah.
Caratini, like you always put that.
Yeah.
I like Michael Bradley. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I know you're a big Hunter Brown guy, so we're gonna go with game two real quick of this series.
Into this series, we have the victorious 5-3 victory for the Houston Astros. Hunter Brown stat line is 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 Ks, 102 pitches, 63 strikes. Only mistake was throwing a four-seamer that he left over the plate, Mickey Moniak, which he did not have the second guess disposal of that pitch for him. Hunter Brown was really disappointed on that one, but that was the only mistake that he cost him 2 earned runs, but he was able to shake it off and continue on with his line. 91 pitches, 500 strikes. Hunter also picked up his 500 career strikeout. Second pitcher in franchise history to get 500 Ks in the first 86 outing or less, and the first person in my Astros history was Matt McCullers.
Dominant.
That's crazy.
It's been dominant.
The one thing I want to say real quick is 91 pitches to the fifth. I'm gonna say because I did make the mistake. I thought he was done. I thought he was on the fifth. Stat line was done. I was like, okay, Joe Spotter, give him the handshake. But as soon as the Astros started scoring, I think Hunter Brown wanted some of that action. I think
Oh, yeah.
That quality start. And sure enough, finished with 102. Only threw 11 more pitches and got another strikeout.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is Hunter Brown doing Hunter Brown things. Again, Hunter Brown wasn't, like you said, 91 pitches to the fifth. It wasn't even his perfect start. Just again, that altitude playing in Colorado could have probably been taking an effect on that.
Yeah, one thing I want to bring up about Hunter Brown as well. He has the highest percentage, highest K percentage in the league, 49%. Prime Buffalo got about 45. The rest of the effort on that top 5 list are all lefties. So Hunter Brown
Oh my God, Hunter Brown. I mean, this is a guy, and we'll talk about this with the Player of the Month coming soon. A guy that should have the bid of an American League starter on the mound. I get the Tariq Skubal won a Cy Young. He's been pitching well. Garrett Crochet as well has been pitching well. Max Fried in New York has been pitching well. But Hunter Brown, I think he's just been so consistent throughout this month of June and really throughout this first half of the season. So, I mean, I would like to see a big case for him to possibly be that guy to start the bump in Atlanta for the American League.
This OG dog, pretty good. You gotta buy it.
I might have to sneak one myself. So, but I mean, Cam Smith, I mean, doing an amazing job and continuing. I mean, the Astros continue to score in the first almost of every game. I mean, the game two was one in the run in the first. The third game as well was scored one in the first, and then the first game was the first run for the Astros was scored in the second inning. So, what Cam Smith is doing, RBI single in the first. Shea Wickham, first career home run, not grand slam. We're getting too far right now, but
Smoked.
He sat there and he watched it and kind of just trying to figure out where it was going to land. It was about 5 rows back. And good thing that he was able to recover the ball. So I don't know if it was an Astros fan or maybe a Rockies fan, but they were able to do the right thing, give the kid the first make a big home run.
oh yeah, you got to. That's always a memorable one. I don't know if I'm a mistake if Somebody threw Altuve's hit, which
Yeah,
we'll talk about that
I was
here in
about
a
to talk.
second.
Yeah, I was about to talk
So,
about that
but
right
go
now.
ahead, go ahead. If you want to,
No,
take it
yeah.
away.
Well, again, a two-run single up the middle by Jose Altuve in the sixth was what he needed to get to pass Jeff Bagwell on second all-time hit list for the Astros. That was hit number 2,315 and second all-time in that, just behind Craig Biggio, who we all know had 3,060 hits. What do you think? Do you think Jose Altuve passed that threshold that set by Craig Biggio?
That's a long amount of time. He's gonna have to keep staying on the tear, but it'll be turned out nice to see Jose Altuve take over the throne, to be the next face of the new franchise. But it's pretty much the face of the modern era of the Astros. I mean, Rizzo was fast on the too. You can't forget about franchise best, but Altuve simply is up there with the big names.
I agree. I think Altuve should, and I'm pretty sure he will actually chase 3,000 hits. I think it's going to be another special time in Houston because they haven't seen a guy since Biggio be able to accomplish that type of goal, and being able to put yourself in that exclusive club with a bunch of other guys that are Hall of Famers,
Yeah.
which I think, in my opinion, first ballot Hall of Famer is Jose Altuve. I think he should be good. The only thing that could maybe deplenish him from not getting to that milestone could be health. And so far, he's been doing a really good job keeping his health up. And hasn't battled through any big injuries as of late.
Yeah, especially now using his legs a little bit, getting those infield hits. The fact that he's a free swinger just tells you he's going to get his. That's just told out to. He's going to get his hits. And it's all about, like you said, health, consistency. Where would he get his 300 hits to? I mean, do they actually keep signing him because his contract extension is going to be what in a few years?
Yep.
I think 3 years. So I'm sure it's mutual interest for the Astros to be on this team. But when you have I know it's a long way to think of it, but as you can see, the Astros already kind of not moving on from Jose Altuve from second base, but kind of like
Yeah,
testing their water. And then,
figure out who to play next.
you got Jordan Alvarez as DH for I'm sure Astros for years to come. It'll be kind of interesting to see how that plays out. And
It'll be nice to see what they come in with because Astros throw out. We see Zach Short finally got some play time in yesterday. Then you got Shea, you got the Zenzo playing infield as well. And then obviously you got a number one prospect in the farm system, Bryce Rogers.
Yeah, which we'll talk about him in a little bit, being that minor league player. I don't know if you saw with Altuve. You're speaking of hits and the way he's a free swinger. The way he tied Jeff Bagwell was a bunt.
yeah,
And that's not something that we're not like too surprised or brand new of because earlier on in Altuve's career, he wasn't shy to sacrifice that bun because the Wolves were there for. The Wolves are a little beat up now, but it still shows them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, he, like I said, first ballot Hall of Famer in my opinion. On his way to 3,000 hits, and then to me, I think it's just health is being the
Yeah.
biggest thing of him being able to accomplish that goal.
yeah,
And then one thing I also wanted to bring up about the Rockies to this game, before they won the last final game of the series, the Rockies record has the worst record in modern era. They tied the St. Louis Cardinals from 1907 with 18 wins.
Did they get 130 losses? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, this team, they're really not showing no signs of like sticking it together. It's a lot of. I feel like maybe it's just coaching, maybe, or these guys in the clubhouse are not connected as much because sometimes the people are not, throwing together, running around together, lifting, or how it used to be on a baseball team. You have your guys that are by themselves. Maybe the team doesn't really click. They don't build relationships. They don't
Yeah.
build bonds.
yeah,
It feels like you're playing with strangers. So I mean, that's something that could be an issue going on.
yeah. I mean, and you make a good point there because we're moving on to game three real quick. The Astros did lose that game, but Cam Smith tied that game up on a fly ball that went right in between Brandon Doyle and I forgot who
Jordan Beck.
Jordan Beck. And
Somebody had a five big game.
yeah, well, but in that play, we see Brandon Doyle diving and then Beck coming on the other side. Like there wasn't any communication done between the two outfielders there because honestly, that seemed like a routine. Yeah, yeah, and I understand Coors Field has some deep outfield, and I know that some gappers can get in, but it looked like they had it all the way, and it was just more of a who's going to catch it, type of thing. I think Brandoa dived to kind of avoid the the collision there, but so yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point there, but again, the Astros did lose that game
7-6.
7-6, and I mean Brandon Walter. It wasn't his greatest outing. 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 91 pitches, 62 in strikes. Did generate a lot of soft contact, and but one thing after the start, I did see on X a lot of fans kind of saying that Brandon Walter wasn't all that. Brandon Walter wasn't this. A lot of hate generated to him, and I don't understand that because honestly, if it wasn't for Brandon Walter pitching well since he's been called up, where would the Astros be? I think he's been one of the biggest surprises, biggest players that have had an impact in his rotation just because of all the injuries. So just stop it. I mean, like these are major league players. Brandon Walter, he's a rookie. He's gonna go through some growing pains, and this is exactly what you're gonna get. Like you're gonna get some good starts, you're gonna get some not good starts. And we talked to you about on the podcast. The last one is like it's kind of hard to pitch in Coors Field, and sure enough, all three pitchers struggled.
Yeah.
And then it's like, Brad Walter's not a superstar. He's just a regular average pitcher. And then anybody average to be in a pitcher to make it at that level is not easy. When you see these guys that never come on the minors, they call them what, quad A legends.
Yeah.
People that can't find their way, find their groove. I mean, Brandon's doing a lot more than possibly he was asked for. I mean, he's going out there and taking extra days. Fitting in holes with the Astros used to be good right now. The injured team that you desperately need somebody. So I mean, I wouldn't really kind of bash him as a fan that he's out there to doing something good for these qualities.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you because without him, yes, he's only had one win at his starts. But if you go back and look at each start that he has thrown, there's literally been only two bad games. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not like the Rockies. They're not like the Athletics. I mean, they're good teams. They're actually good teams. I don't know if it was the Cubs or the Phillies, and them two teams are number one in the division.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I agree with you. It shouldn't be no bash. I mean, every pitcher's gonna have his day, like you said too. They're pitching at Coors Field. It's not a really good ballpark for pitchers to go and pitch at. But not a bad start for him. Swipe it off and just continue on. I think do a decent job in the next outing that he comes in. I'll probably be against the Guardians.
Yeah, but this game, Cam Smith continuing to roll. Besides that 2-out 2-run triple that I talked about earlier that went between the outfitters, he also did have an RBI single early in the game and also an RBI ground out from Christian Walker in the first. Also, Sock Riders came through in this one, RBI single. That Cooper Hummel showed out the wheels there and scored from first all the way to home pretty easily there.
Yeah, that was a big gutsy call from Tony Perez and I think we talked about this on our podcast. Like one thing that they're going to go out there and do, and what Joe Espada has mentioned, is be aggressive on the base paths. And sure enough, he made that harder on the infielder. And the infielder, as an infielder, you got to make a good throw. If you don't make a good throw, then obviously he's going to be safe. But Perez doing that, putting pressure on the defense over there in Colorado. I thought it was a smart thing to do.
And we do have a comment coming in. We have Brady Sanchez saying, "What's up, going? What's up, gang?" And then I'm active. But Brady, where you at? I want you in that big city wing. I want you in that big city wing right here.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the best chicken places, I would say. Best wings, I would say as well. And since we're already talking about Big City Wings, let's go real quick with the promo that they have. They're even turning 10 years at Big City Wings. Look,
10 years.
Already getting busy
For 10 years.
A happy anniversary to Big City Wings. That's going to start actually tomorrow on Saturday, July 5th. And, I mean, they're going to have a good thing going on this whole week at Big City Wings. Saturday, 10 wings for $10. Are you kidding me? 10 wings for $10? Oh, just wait till I get to the end. But Thursday on July 10. I know. That's what I'm about to say. Got a
small business, family-owned business, rather than a big franchise.
And then
they don't. And you're there, less than a mile away from the ballpark.
Wingstop doesn't have be there.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They have different options too for food. It's not just chicken and sandwiches and beans and tenders. Man, they got a variety of everything. That's why it's awesome here. But real quick, let me just go through this. Thursday, July 10, 10-year anniversary sampler, 5 wings, 3 tenders, onion rings, and pickle spears for 1995, which is not bad as a little app.
You want to be at whenever literally have every single Astros game for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Rockets doing his basketball season, Texas doing his football season too.
I'm like,
It's also a cute family environment.
oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
we
Right
got
there, my
a
baby,
we have a baby in the background right here too. So
my baby girl.
Family in the booth, so go crazy. Get some busting food.
Busting food. Wednesday, July 16, $10 cocktails and $10 beer buckets. Beer buckets, you?
thank you.
God, I want a beer bucket right now, honestly. But no, we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do
You're
that.
buying it with
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think so. I know. Monday, July 21st, $10 Big City Burger Basket. If you're not a fan of chicken, then you have the burgers. And then Tuesday, I think this is the best one. July 29, National Chicken Wing Day. 75-cent wings and $10 beer buckets. Are you kidding me?
Hey, Stefan, you got two people in the comments saying turn on your mic. So turn on your mic. I don't know. It's going to get some uh, technical difficulty from that end.
I mean, you can use mine if you want.
There you go. Yeah.
But yes, I mean, Big City Wings, one of the best. Like I said, it's not here just at Edo. If you do come to an Astros game, you got to make sure you stop in the Edo location. Literally, like Steban was saying, 5 minutes away from the ballpark. So I would highly suggest if you're not going to come here, then they have a bunch of locations. I think recently they just opened a location in Cyprus, if I'm not mistaken. So they're expanding big time. But let's finish off real quick with the series overall thoughts. Cam Smith thriving in the cleanup spot, 8 for 15 in this series. Really a home run shy of a cycle. Double, triple, 5 RBIs in total. Like I had mentioned, the cycle was really right there for him. What was his batting average? He was hitting about 270 before this series. He had a 291 and now an 804 OPS. Like I said, cleanup spot. You usually put Jordan Alvarez, Yainer Diaz, Christian Walker, guys that have pop in their bats. And this rookie's like, hey, hold my beer, and I'm gonna step up for this team. And like I said, this kid loves the moment. He thrives in these types of moments, and you saw it in that series against the Rockies in crucial game with 2 outs, runs to scoring position, big hit. I think he has like runners to scoring position, if I'm not mistaken, about a 3 something average.
And then wanted to bring him to as well. It was a 6 minute at bat that he had worked. He had worked a 6 minute at bat, 3-0 count, works it full, gets the job done. And it's like every time this kid has runners on base, it's like he gets an itch. He goes to a different, dimension where he locks in and gets things done. He
Yeah,
gets less in the system.
Yeah, just like that Squidward meme when he's crutches on the floor. Future, that's the future of the Astros right there.
Yeah, and it could be. Hey, maybe some extension talks later on and get that little philosophy as the price.
One thing I wanted to bring up too, he has a 368 average for Cam Smith on pitches 97 mile per hour or higher.
Yeah, he just
He loves it.
he does, and that's what you should. That's what you're taught too. Growing up is attack the fastball. You always attack the fastball, adjust to the off-speed pitches, and that's what he's done a really good job. But real quick with the slash line, 448 batting average, a 500 on base percentage, 759 slugging, and an OPS of 1.259, 1259 OPS for Cam Smith in the 4 spot, 13 hits, 4 extra base hits, 2 of them being home runs, and 10 RBIs.
Here's a question: do you keep Cam Smith in that cleanup spot once Jordan Alvarez comes back healthy?
I would have Cam anywhere behind Jordan all day.
But when you have
No, not in front. I'd have him behind Jordan.
so if he's thriving in the 4 spot, this is me real quick. I think I would leave him there.
If to begin with, yeah, you'll have him starting there, but eventually, like if Jordan gets hot, then how are you gonna do the lineup? You know what I mean? You're gonna have to maybe switch it around depending because. I mean, I'm the type of guy like I'm not gonna stack righty, and then lefty. You know what I mean? I kind of would like to mix it up. Maybe put the switch hitter in the middle down there too. You know what I mean? Kind of just to make the lineup different. But I'm not the coach.
Jordan's gonna be hitting third, my prediction.
Or you put out Altuve.
It's gonna be
Or you put
Oh, well,
Paredes.
that's
There's a lot-
that's
there's a lot.
difficult. Yeah, there you go.
Paredes, Jordan, Cam, or Altuve, or like you can alternate on the.
What I would do if Alvarez comes back and they want to put him in the 4 spot, obviously Cam Smith's going to be in the 5 spot.
Yeah, which I think he'll do a really good job because then he'll have a little. He's gonna get pitches again. So I think with him having Jordan if he were to have Jordan behind him, he would get a little bit more protection because the big guy behind him. But if he hits in that fifth spot, they're not gonna want to tag like mess with Jordan that much. So they get some good pitches there because they're gonna try to get him out.
Yeah, one thing I also wanted to bring up, Cam was able to pick up his 30th RBI on his third game as well. And in a 7 game stretch, Cam is batting 500 with his sixth multi hit game.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Smith, one of the best. I think if you're a Chicago Cubs fan, I think you're pretty hurt right now because the way he's been hitting. Yeah, you did get Kyle Tucker. I think Cubs are going to just go on, put all the chips on the table. But you potentially have Cam Smith, who could have been an outfielder, and you wouldn't even have to trade Wisniewski and Paredes. So good eye on the Astros. But to end it on overall thoughts, the Astros are glad to not see Tyler Estrada or Jordan Beck again because them guys were really good against. Yeah, I mean, our Hunter Goodman as well. Them guys were really slashing the ball against Houston. Estrada making key plays. I know, man. I might. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Hey, I'm gonna get my bites pretty soon. But yeah, Estrada 500 batting average in the series. Beck almost a 500 batting average this series. Two and like you said, Steph, a 5-5 game in game two. So like I said, I mean the future's bright in Colorado. It's just maybe some development in these players and these prospects, man. That's only I would say entering them.
Yeah,
They had, then a guy that was kind of like interested in too was their reliever closer. He was like throwing like 102, 101. I think I saw like 90 something spot like sliders, mid 90 sliders.
and do got to reach out to get another comment here by Kevin Stern, who said he wasn't can come, but I don't see him. But
I think
uh,
I think Kevin got stage fright in the car. That's what I think.
I know 'cause we're gonna have some live comments or something right here. But Kevin did say Cam at the next goal at this pace. So I mean, yeah, he's really played really well.
Somebody that we can't forget to give a little light. Christian Walker, 21 straight games with a hit against the Rockies in his career. So not with the Astros this history, but this is his career that every time he's gone to course, he has been on base and has gotten a hit. What do you think about that?
The food? Because the food is good. Shit. You don't gotta tell me twice on that. But Christian Walker, this is another series coming up for him that he thrives against NOS teams. Of course, him coming from Arizona, does really well at course field. But what I've heard and what I've seen, stats and all that, this guy loves hitting against the Dodgers.
No.
And that is a big thing for Christian Walker to step up at
Yeah.
this time because we are not certain what the future is going to look like for Jordan Alvarez.
Especially with all these guys going up and down injuries, this, and then you got all these minor league players pretty much getting called up to fit in these holes. It's like minimum experience for these guys, but it's just moments where Cam could show these guys live in the moment. This is a big moment, and just play ball, play baseball, just be yourself.
Be yourself. Like I said, I love that. Be yourself.
Absolutely. But I'm gonna give these boys a chance to eat. And I've been eating the hot dog real quick. Uh, because I got a long update from Jordan Alvarez. So, as you know, Jordan Alvarez had another setback on his rehab assignment, but Astros gave. I guess I've heard the concerns about their injury updates and Alvarez. Well, they give, they're like, I'm gonna give you all the possible of an injury update. So, Jordan Alvarez and the Astros received some encouraging news from the hand specialist that examined Alvarez's sore right hand on Wednesday. As part of the examination, additional imaging was done on his right hand, which revealed that the main cause of his current pain is due to inflammation. So not that little fracture he had, but more of inflammation. The cause of this current pain. Oh wait, the specialist also indicated that at this point in the recovery process, a small fracture that had been sustained is now a non-factor in the discomfort that Alvarez is currently experiencing. So that's a really great sign if you're the Astros and you're an Alvarez as well. As a result, go ahead.
Yeah, this is something that kind of like just everybody is, as an Astros fan and all the Houston fans out there are just so bothered by this because this is something that if you would have managed Jordan differently, maybe just had him shut down since the beginning. It's something that you probably could have let gone a little bit faster. But since he kept going up and down that roller coaster of, okay, we're going to activate you. We're going to let you hit again. All right, we're going to stop having you hit. We're going to let you play catch. We're going to let you do this. It's just stuff that, his body could have just left on shut down and probably would have had this. He probably would have been back already.
Yeah, I mean, could be. You guys want to say? I know. You're over here chowing down.
I'm trying to chow down on this food, man. Look at this. Like, God, I know.
How you gonna eat a code?
As a result, as a result of this examination, Alvarez received two injections in his hand on Wednesday and will refrain from any activity involving his hand in the upcoming days. This was not the first time that Alvarez had received injections in his hand while on the injured list. The specialist also reviewed the multiple sets of imaging that had been done previously on Alvarez's hand and concurred with the findings of the actual medical staff and other hand specialists. So again, they're all on the same page. I guess they all agreed upon it. The specialist also determined that the imaging done on Wednesday revealed that Alvarez's hand had made noticeable progress compared to imaging done over the past several weeks. Lastly, prior to Wednesday's MRI, the most recent imaging on Alvarez's hand had indicated that the inflammation had been reduced. Alvarez began to ramp up his baseball activities last week and was able to take baseball was able to take batting practice on the field on Saturday with positive results. However, on Tuesday morning, Alvarez reported to the Astros medical staff that the pain in his hand had returned, which resulted in Wednesday's visit to the additional hand specialist. Again, this was just a crazy injury, crazy recovery, I would say too as well. Uh, I don't know what to say because Alvarez is like 6'4", he's healthy, but the way his body kind of recovers is kind of startling, kind of different from like your average Joe, I would say.
It is different because we had this discussion back in May when he did land on the IO, and then he felt some type of something in his hand again. And what I told you, I was like, honestly, I think surgery could be an option for Alvarez, and if that's the case, they need to take it. So then you will have your big man ready for the postseason. It was almost like Kyle Tucker, almost like Kyle Tucker. But with Alvarez, it's been tricky. Three hand specialists and inflammation. That's a lot of inflammation all the time, guy. If that's the case for him, so for the Astros, I mean, I guess it's some good and bright news that not surgery has to be required or anything like that. But at the same time, too, you do want to see your big man healthy with free pain, swinging the bat. And honestly, I mean, the videos that were shown of him at hitting a Dyken Park in live BP, it was smoking the ball.
Yeah.
It looked like another day at the office for him. But then, obviously, the next day comes. That's when you really see how you feel and all of that. So
Yeah, and then just shout out to the Astros because this is back-to-back years where their star players serve for a long period of time, and they're still able to find ways to win, still able to have a good positive record because not many teams can do that. Imagine the Yankees lost Aaron Judge. How many games do you think they win? Not
not a lot, not a
yeah,
lot. I
right.
would say.
Same thing with the Guardians. Like they lost Jose Ramirez. Might be a little like, same outcome right there. But so just shout out to the Astros for showing that grit, that resilience, to be able to overcome that.
Yeah. Before we move on, I do want to throw a scenario out there. I'm not going to say it's going to happen or anything like that, but if Jordan Alvarez doesn't come back, and same thing again when he hits again, comes back to the same thing, same situation, then the possibility he could be shut down for the season. Do the Astros need to make a move at the trade deadline, not just for a left-handed bat, but a bat that's going to produce, especially the way that this team is playing right now? That second in the American League has the chance to get the number one seed if they continue to play the way that they're playing to the postseason. Do the Astros go all in? Because I know, we know they don't have a lot of prospects, not a lot of bright ones. Finally, the Astros did get a top prospect in the 100 the top 100s by MLB Pipeline with Bryce Matthews, but I think the Astros would not like to put him in a trade. But your thoughts, real quick, on that?
I'd say if Alvarez is out for the year, yes. I think they do need to make a move, get another additional bat because Christian Walker might come around, but what if he doesn't? Right? Johnny Diaz is finding it, but what if he loses it? Right? So there's a lot of what ifs, possibilities that can happen. What if another injury happens in that aspect too? So I would say if Jordan Alvarez is out for the entire year, yes. If he's coming back before September, then I think just holding off from it and being able to, just what they've been doing right now, work through that injury and work through, not having Jordan Alvarez in the lineup.
Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, depending on how Jordan goes, I think we're gonna need to fill in somebody. We're gonna need to find a bat because, I mean, things can get ugly, things can get scary, and the way the season's so long, especially with second half coming around, like you're gonna want to come in hot, you're gonna come in prepared, and this is where teams are gonna, dig deep and dig for wins, and it's going to be a long stretch of baseball after this All Star break here. But as of right now, I'm sure it's showing that for lefties at bats that are bigger names out there right now that I see as of right now is Ryan O'Hearn and Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor is another person that can play first base, and O'Hearn I believe plays um, first base as well and outfield. So these are two pretty strong bats, but these bats are not going to come at a cheap price. So what are you willing to give up? Who are you going to give up, and what are you willing to lose for these two type of players? Or do you just sit down and be patient with this farm system, or whoever is going to come back, like Melton or Tristan Trammell, maybe?
Do you think Bryce Matthews? It's just a question. Do you think Bryce Matthews has a realistic chance of being on this Astro squad either this year or in 2 3 years?
I think this year. Honestly, I think this year. That's why I said with the September call-ups when everything comes around. I think that
Okay,
that's
but
when his time will come.
okay, what I'm saying, like daily playing time,
Daily playing time,
like
maybe next year.
maybe next year, but
Because
where?
right now you're doing a platoon at second base without Tuve, Dubon, Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers on a 1 year deal. Zach Short. Zach Short's another guy. Whitcomb too as well. But the way Bryce has been hitting the ball in Triple A, I mean, and he
Okay,
plays the middle infield pretty good.
okay. So what you're saying is maybe by next year, right? Yeah, Bryce Matthews at second base, Altuve in the outfield, right? Okay. So what about Jacob Melton?
Then Jacob Melton, either you're gonna have to, man, you have to find a spot for him. He's gonna have to be like somebody you're gonna alternate. Maybe if Altuve gets maybe DH role or he's off, or maybe Myers takes a day off, because you got to think about it. Jake Myers is out there dang near every day. He's not
Yeah,
missing any games, so eventually Jake's gonna need some rest.
but if you're not looking at Jacob Melton as a starter, do you think that could be a trade piece? I'm not trying to say like that's what I'm
Oh,
trying to
I
say.
think
Like Bryce
I
Matthews
think
or
he
Jacob
could be a
Melton, they're gonna
trade.
make a trade. One of them's gonna have to go.
I think it would possibly be Bryce, and I mean, yeah, you brought up Melton, but possibly if they wanted Wickham, maybe the Zenzo, the price is right. Like, depending on if it's a bigger caliber of a name, then I'm sure you're gonna have to lean on somebody like that, or your pitching
Yeah.
prospects like Miguel, maybe, or maybe you're a younger guy like Allen Bar Santana, who's a little bit lower on the line for the Astros prospect.
And then we do have some comments saying that Chelsea Fish will pick up his lineups from Astro War Craig and Kevin Turner said let Brendan Rodgers go.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what they do. But I think Bryce Matthews has a really good, bright future in Houston. I think, like I said, he's originally a shortstop, but put him in the second base side, and you know that you're one of the Astros greats, and Jose Altuve is not going to be playing there for more years to come. So you got to solidify that spot with somebody now.
The defense is, I mean, no two ways. Defense gloves. It's gonna keep declining little by little as he ages. You know what I mean? And then there's somebody that eventually you're not gonna want to see out there in the infield diving out, reaching for plays. Because then, what if he dives out and oh, there goes his leg, or
Mitchell was
his
like what,
back.
38 playing second base?
So I mean, if you look at his defensive stats, I'm sure that it'll show declining on there. So eventually, you're gonna have to trust in one of these younger guys, and you're gonna have to find a spot for Altuve, and then you're done. Eventually next season, you're gonna have to play the field more.
I agree.
Well, let's see if that's what the Astros want, though. That's another thing.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be interesting in the trade deadline. Of course, when we do the trade deadline, we like to go big here. Like to hear the insight, all the analysis, and make sure you stay tuned with us.
But let's get on moving real quick before we recap this Dodger series coming up. I want to bring up Astros notable players of the month. So, player of the month, we got starting off. Hunter Brown was named AL Pitcher of the Month with 30.1 innings pitched, 1.19 ERA, 39 Ks, 0.82 WHIP. Only won one game in his 5 starts of June. And then Josh Hader was named AL Reliever of the Month, 13.2 inning pitched, 1.9 ERA, 22 Ks, and 9 saves. Those are just crazy stat lines from both of these guys right here.
That's what I'm saying. AO, I think he has the nod for the American League. Like that's my opinion right now. That's what I said too. You give two more starts, like not this one against the Rockies, but the previous one against, I believe, the Phillies or the Cubs. Then he's the starter. He should be the starter for the American League. Nothing against Screwball, like I mentioned. Nothing against Crochet, Max Fried. Those are great pitchers. Even Framber Valdez should have some like type of nod in that as well. But the way Hunter Brown has been doing, very consistent throughout this whole year. There's no doubt in my mind, and this is, like I said, my opinion. I think Hunter Brown should be the American League starter when they play in Atlanta.
Yeah, could have been back to back, honestly, for Hunter Brown winning that AL Pitcher of the Year. But I mean, of the month. But unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. But I think Hunter Brown was determined ever since Max Free was chosen over him. And you saw on Instagram post, he was fired up, and hey, he got what he wanted. But I'm sure he's looking more than that. I'm sure he's looking Cy Young. I'm sure he's looking for a World Series ring too.
It's kind of like that Jordan meme that he put on his Instagram story.
That's what
Just
I'm
like,
talking about.
like that.
And one thing I know we're talking about like this is a little bit off topic, but I wanted to bring up that Monday the Astros had an off day in Colorado, and I was heard that Christian Walker, Snicker, uh, Hunter Brown, and they invited the new guys, Jordan Williams. They went out there and were able to go do some freshwater fly fishing in Colorado, which is pretty cool. These guys, according to Julia, said that they were up 7 in the morning in the van, ready to go get in the water, and they said it was some deep, bad water, but they were able to catch trout and whatnot, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool to see that you got your guys, building bonds off the field, and especially, Hunter Brown and Walker taking in somebody that's new to this team and, showing them a good way of how to get close to them.
I think Chandler had put this on his article on the Athletic about Isak Paredes. That Isak didn't know what he was going to come into in this clubhouse. You have some clubhouses, for instance, right now, Kevin Pillar, he just retired right now, and he was talking about the Rangers clubhouse isn't very like close compared to other clubs. And in Rome's article, he was saying that Isak had mentioned about like this club makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel like family, makes you feel like you're at home, chilling with the boys, kind of thing, laid back. So that's Houston's always done a really good job bringing in new players. And yeah, someone has it right here. You want to go ahead and read it? I mean, or maybe you can't. We're all good. He'll look for it, but I mean, like I mentioned, I mean, it's just good to have a camaraderie with boys and just a culture with them and being able to share a clubhouse like this.
Yeah, it's not the first time. Like when you go to Pittsburgh, they always go to the Roberto Clemente Museum as a team. They're always and then they were at many of the players were at Josh Hader's charity event. To support him too. So this is a team that's really close and that you know likes and loves being there for each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very awesome to see that. But Hunter Brown, well deserved, as well as Josh Hader.
So Isak Perez prepared for a perfect transition. He'd already been traded twice during his 5-year major league career, creating some preconceived notions about assimilating into a new environment. Before entering the Houston National clubhouse, he manufactured another. At first in spring training, he says, I thought it was going to be harder because you have all these superstars, so I thought it was going to be more strict, where he said Sunday to an interpreter. But it's complete opposite. It's very relaxing. They've been very open, and that gives me the confidence to go out there and play ball. And then, yeah, that's all I got for that about Eastside. But that's a good time because I've heard people complaining about other ball clubs and how they run.
Yeah, like I said, Kevin Pillar did mention about that about the Texas Rangers, but it's good to see that the Astros. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That clubhouse they feel connected, but disconnected.
Yeah, so it's always been Houston's always done a really good job doing that. You saw that with Dusty Baker as manager, bringing in different kinds of foods for like the Latino players, the Mexicans, the Venezuelans, even Puerto Rican players. So it's really cool to see not just coaches, not just the front office, but the players as well.
And then we do have just real quick another comment going back to an argument, a little or a debate a little bit a while ago between Bryce Matthews and Jacob Melton, who's going to go. Efrod says Bryce Matthews is Dana Brown's first draft pick. He ain't going nowhere. That's what he had to say.
Yeah, I agree too. I think Dana's in love with Bryce Matthews.
I wouldn't say love, but
well, not in love, but like Dana likes his prospects heavily. Like I mean, the way that he was really highly on Spencer Arrighetti, really highly on Bryce Matthews, Jacob Melton, and the way they were here, especially with Cam Smith, man. That's somebody that he was really like head over heels for not even being on the team. When he was already scoping him out with the Cubs, he knew like, okay, like this is somebody I need to go get. This is somebody that's going to be a guy. But the thing that I did want to touch on too that Zum brought up, Kevin PR spoke on his experience with the Rangers. He said, I thought they would be a little bit tighter as a group. I thought it'd be like my experience in Atlanta. Everyone wanted to pull up on the same rope. Everyone wanted to hang out and do everything together. Winning was the most important thing every day. When I got in the clubhouse in Texas, there's a lot of talent in there and there's a lot of individual stuff going on. A lot of guys are doing their own thing. You might not see people until the game time. Guys are just kind of doing their own thing. A lot of BP, not a lot of stretching together. Maybe for me, just being the outcast, it was a lot of the same guys that won the World Series. So maybe I was kind of on the outside. I was looking for more way to get in the inner circle, and that comes through stretching and BP, where you talk about things that are in baseball and you get to know guys. So I mean, coming and playing on a disconnected team just doesn't feel right. I mean, I experience the same thing sometimes. In travel ball, when a team calls you, like, hey, we need an extra player, and you go out there and you play with a different team. It's awkward. You got different parents cheering on their kids, and you don't know nobody in the dugout. You just go out there like, hey, I play this, and come on, let's get it. And then it's kind of as the innings go by, you start to settle down. But you can just imagine trying to fit in with a clubhouse for a whole season and still not finding, still not clicking, still not having a bond with anybody. That's just toxic.
That's actually a good example right there,
Yeah,
travel ball,
absolutely.
because yeah, there's a lot of kids that like coaches that say, hey, we need an extra player, and he's going to help out this coach, but he doesn't know any of these guys, none of these players, and yeah, I mean that's a perfect example. I know that for like younger kids though, not like in high school. Obviously, we don't care. I mean, we're gonna go play, we're gonna play, but like with the younger kids, being able to do that, yeah, that does go a long way.
Right, I mean, you said it best, right? So man, add too much to that.
But is the preview ready? Because I
Oh
think a
yeah,
lot of people are waiting for that potential World Series
my
rematch.
fault. Yeah, yeah. I was too
Yeah, I can see. I mean,
hypnotized
we
by
can
this.
see that.
I forgot it was my
Right,
turn.
shit. I
I
know,
know,
man.
yeah,
Shit.
but Dodgers, Astros matchup, it's always good, always kind of heated in the fans too. I know Dodgers fans, Astros fans like to walk the walk and talk the talk, especially when they're coming against each other. But Dodgers, best record in Major League Baseball, 56 wins, 32 losses, first in the NL West. Like Lorenzo said earlier, 91 in the last 10 games. But you have a good one coming up. It starts on Friday today, 8:10 start time. Lance McCullers versus Ben Casprius. I'm gonna go real quick just because I think basically giving us an hour. We're already like in the 50 something minute mark. So Lance is 1-3 and at a 6.61 ERA. Again, last time versus Chicago wasn't as pretty. 3-1, 3.1 innings pitched, 7 hits, 8 runs, 4 walks, 1 strikeout. It won't be an easy matchup against the Dodgers, but I do predict Lance McCullers will have a better outcome than what he did with Chicago. It's tough. Opposing crowd, great lineup. You got the three MVPs in that batting order with Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani. And Lance McCullers that we talked about is familiar playing against the Dodgers, familiar playing at Charles Reed. So I wouldn't. I'd say 5 innings. My prediction: 5 innings pitched. I'd say 3 runs, a few strikeouts.
Give me the quality start. I think he gives a quality start in this one. I think just Lance himself though just loves being in these moments. These types of moments is what he lives for. You saw his last start in LA too. Whenever I forgot who pitched, it was in the bullpen. If I'm not mistaken, it was maybe Stanek or it was a young lefty. Could have been Brian King Austin too. But he got a big strikeout. You saw Lance pounding on the dugout, and he was pumped. So something like this, I'm going to quality start, maybe 3 earned runs in this outing, but yeah, he's going to thrive in this type of game and this atmosphere.
Yeah, this is one of those really, really tough ones. So this is where Lance was going to try to, want to be his best, and this is something that he hopes he gets his calls and he can hit his location, because I'm pretty sure umpire will not be out there helping with two big teams like this and high stakes. Everybody's going to be watching this matchup, especially because all the hate for the Astros nationally, and everybody loves Dodgers. It's like one of the bigger teams in the nation with the most hype, and you got people worldwide watching. Just for Otani and Kim,
Mhm.
another guy that they have over there. But
Yeah.
this is going to be a perfect matchup for Lance to set the tone and pave the way for the rest of these Astro starters. This is something that I think Lance possibly as high as he give up, maybe 3 runs. But
Yeah.
this is going to be a really tough matchup for bullpen and starting pitching.
Yeah, and then keeping Kim off the base path, like you mentioned, him is going to be a priority because he wreaks a lot of havoc on the base paths with that speed. But the Astros are going to be facing Ben Casprius. Casprius is a rookie. It's kind of like he started as an opener, pitching 1 innings, 2 innings there, 3. But now looks like he's been turned into like almost a full-time starter versus KC. He has a 6.2 record, 3.97 ERA versus KC. He pitched 4 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. So it wasn't as good. He does have a 4 pitch mix of a fastball, sleeper, Cutter and curveball. So what was that hot dog you just tried? Because it looked like you really enjoyed that bite.
There's a bunch of chicken dogs. I gotta find the damn menu
Oh,
again.
it's right here, right here, right here. Oh, that was
H-Town, baby.
the H Town dog. There you go.
Fresh jalapenos, hamburger chicken tenders hot off the
What kind
grill.
of fries are these?
Sweet potato fries.
Mm.
They're good. They're really good.
Yeah,
But
y'all don't know what y'all missing out. Y'all need to get down here ASAP.
a hot, that was those hot dog break. But we got Saturday 6:15. Framber Valdez, Shohei Otani. On this one, on paper looks good. However, uh,
We got to make a new one, the Fram Dog.
hey, Big City Weekly, if you're hitting the step on trademark that Fram dog real quick. But
You got to make sure you have chili on that one. A little bit of grease from La Grasa.
on paper, though, this looks like a great matchup. However, we can show Shohei Otani. He's only hit pitched 3 times and come back from injury. Hasn't surpassed 2 innings. His first 2 starts, pitched an inning. Last start, he pitched 2 innings versus KC, 1 hit, 0 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Does have an 0-0 record. Obviously, hasn't pitched enough to qualify for a win. 2.25 ERA. Comes with a 6 pitch mix, sweeper, fastball, seeker, slider, split finger, and cutter. Again, it's going to be hard, to hit against the time, but if the Astros can score early against it, that'd be great because Dodgers both been pretty good. But
Yeah, if I'm the Astros on this matchup against Otani, like, you got to ambush this guy. He's not going to be throwing too many crazy stuff, especially because right now the Dodgers are just trying to get him to get the feel of his arm again and pitch, and they want him to live up in the zone and eat up a bunch of strikes. So you can just imagine Otani's going to try to be throwing a bunch of fastballs. So this is something that you want them to ambush on.
Yeah, not to mention too, they've seen Shohei Otani in his time with the Angels. Remember? I mean, yeah, and you make a good point. He's only thrown 2 innings. There could be a possibility as 3 or 4.
I,
And think,
I'm predicting 3.
and think about it though. If they get to Casper's in the first game, get to that bullpen, for sure they're gonna have to find somebody for game 2. And then game 3, it's up in the air.
Yeah, I'd say 2 innings, 3 innings max for Shohei Ohtani, and like in this outing, I'll be surprised if I see him pitch anything other than that. But like you said, if they can get to Casper's early, get to Otani, like you're gonna get like about 3 innings, like one time around maybe for Otani. So that'll be a great job by the Astros there. Uh, he's gonna be going against Aaron Valdez, who's 9-4 with a 2.72 ERA versus the Cubs. I mean, Framber thinks he shoved
So
6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 0 strikeouts, 2 walks,
so
and a few strikeouts there.
Shohei Otani has a ERA of 4.01 versus the Astros in the career, and that is in 13 games, 3 wins, 6 losses, and 88 strikeouts and 67.1 innings pitched. He's given up 61 hits, 30 earned runs to the Astros, 6 homers, and 25 walks.
There you go. Stats by Stephon.
Trademark. That's my
Trademark that.
seven.
Stats by Stephon. But
But Sunday's game, I'm glad it was a short pitching preview. It's 3:10 start time Sunday. TBA versus TBA. This is Colton Gordon's start, so it'll be interesting once we get more information on that what's going to happen. But it is Colton Gordon's time around the rotation. I'm not sure if injury giving him a day off because I mean the Astros have shown they gave Hayden Wazowski a little skip start to get somewhere as they did that with Lance McCullers too. This could be another situation like that. That's so once we find out more, we'll let Astros fans know about all that.
good rematch though. Like I said, 2017 World Series rematch. Real quick, do you think this is a World Series for 2025?
It's a good chance. Good chance.
I think either them or honestly, the way that the Padres were able to handle the Dodgers last year, they just were like just one little ump over that hill that they almost needed to overcome to, you know, pretty much handle them. And some of the players asked about the Dodgers lineup versus Padres last season, and players on the Dodgers team thought that Padres had a full, sought out better lineup than them. So who's to know? That's going to be a good race towards the end of the year, especially with all the tensions and divisional highway series rival right there. There's no telling. I mean, I would love to see Padres, but the world wants to see Dodgers. you
We
know.
do have.
But
Oh,
in this game, since we were talking about the Dodgers, Zoe did mention Christian Walker being good against him. So Walker has a 250 batting average with 75 hits, 27 homers, 59 RBIs, and 46 runs scored in 90 games in his career against the Dodgers. So this is somebody, ladies and gentlemen, that might heat up this series. This is somebody that Astros are in desperate need to heat up because, like I said, this is a really heavy Dodgers lineup, and they're going to be hitting the ball, and the Astros are going to need to be chasing and try to keep up scoring the same amount of runs as them.
Yeah, and then we do have a comment like about this Otani matchup. Astro Wars Crab says Paredes will burn through Otani's pitch count in 2 at bats. So could be there. And then we also have one from Richard Mendoza saying, "Can I get a shout out for my boy at hitting 150 on the course today?" And 150, you still suck, buddy. Golf course, golf course.
I think you and Nat should go out there.
Maybe we'll do that next little challenge.
You know what?
We'll take a live out there.
FSA from the golf course. Yeah, there you go.
But that is the Dodgers preview. Let's cap it off with a little bit of Astros injuries here. Astros injuries. This is as of June 1st, I believe. Oh, July. My bad. I'm sorry. Over here thinking about all this food. I still smell this food in my face, so I'm just like over here distracted by it. But Astros injury updates. Astros have 14 players on their IL. Spencer Irrigated broken right thumb in Florida through a 15 pitching side bullpen and a 20 pitch side bullpen as well. Sean Dubin, right forearm strain, not throwing. JP France, right shoulder through 26 pitch bullpen. The side was originally scheduled as a BP live, but changed due to weather issues. Luis Garcia, right elbow surgery through second live bullpen yesterday, 25 pitches. Christian Javier, right elbow surgery through 2 innings in a live bullpen in Florida. Jordan, you already talked about him. DeZenzo has not progressed in hitting yet. He's still laying down. And that's it. That's all I got. Oh, then one thing that we did want to bring up earlier was the Bryce Matthews as well for the Player of the Month update. Let me read you this stat line. In June, Bryce Matthews was hitting 306 with 21 runs, 6 doubles, 3 triples, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs, 15 walks, 7 stolen bases, and a 960 OPS. In addition, Matthews cracks the MLB pipeline top 100 prospects, sitting at number 98, and is the lone Astro on this list.
And then before we do have some more comments. Brady Sanchez said, "Bring back spaghetti." He would have been dealing this season. And then Richard Mendoza again agrees with he wants to see a live stream on the course. There we go.
Yeah, we can. Real quick, though, I mean, he did mention Bryce Matthews being on the top 100 MLB pipeline. Well, hey, all that hard work and all that dedication that he did, he's going to the Futures game in Atlanta. So it's awesome to see him. Him and whatchamacall's name? Allenberg? Okay, yeah, he's going to be out there. Pitcher from the Corpus Christi Hooks.
Yeah.
That's somebody that is to be very interesting too as well. If y'all haven't searched about him yet, Allenberg is a very nice up and coming talent. If you look at him, he's just one of those funky guys that has a weird slot angle. So this is somebody that you could probably see in the next couple of years to come.
Absolutely. I mean, the Astros, we talked about, years back, who's their next top prospect. And, they got a few options. They already got Cam Smith dealing right now. They got Bryce Matthews on the come up. I forgot his last name, but you said what?
You got Miguel Ulola, too.
Miguel Ulola as well, too. You got Jack DeZenzo, come back from injury as well, too. So you got some guys that can really, once Altuve's gone, and all that good stuff, that can really take over.
Yeah, and real quick before we do move on, Jerry Pena, real quick. Imaging done on Pena revealed a small fracture in one of the ribs on his left side. I honestly didn't think it was going to be IL still.
Me neither.
But it was being on the 10-day IL. Then Dana Brown did talk to the media at Coors Field and had said that Pena is not doing any baseball activities as of now, but he can resume them this coming weekend when they're in LA. Man, if you're Pena, I know you are salivating and trying to get back on the field, then you can try at least take that back. Today is the selection show, if I'm not mistaken, for the All-Stars.
But if he's hurt, do you think he has a good chance of being in the All-Stars?
What do you mean?
Like if Jeremy Pena's, yeah.
I think he'll be on the reserves.
He
I
should.
think so. And he should, exactly. Nothing against Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt's one of the best shortstops in the game. Runner-up MVP last year. Pena, you got to give him his flowers. The way he's been playing for this team, I think, with like he was saying with Brandon Walter, I'm not saying Brandon Walter is the reason why the Astros record is what it is, but putting Pena in the top of this lineup has changed the whole dynamic of this offense. So losing him, it sucks, but hey, he's going to be coming back soon. Maybe he doesn't even play in the All Star game, so we'll have to see. And last but not least, real quick, Chaz McCormick with Chandler Rome. He will join AAA Sugarland today and begin playing with them as well as
There
of
you
tonight.
go. I mean, that's a bat the Astros could probably need too.
But I know you wanted to say something to Mike real quick, so
Oh yeah, this is what y'all been waiting for, and we have been bringing it up in the previous streams before. So we're gonna bring you a giveaway brought to you by us as the full team squad. We have here a Jeremy Pena bobblehead jersey giveaway,
Jimmy
and then
Pena.
I believe it's Pena. So there's two Penas in this giveaway: a bobblehead and a jersey, and then we have a Zach Zenzo first Bowman autograph. So any of my baseball card
Damn.
collectors out there, this is something that y'all want to get in there. And then also as well, we have over there far left. If Angel wants to give us a hand with one of the full steam ahead koozies, so one of y'all, for my people that stay hydrated, get those in there.
Stay hydrated in the river.
Yeah, speaking of the river, for those somebody's gonna be going to the river. And I'm not saying names here, but
yeah, somebody's gonna definitely go into the river. But no, like I said, shout out to Big City Wings. This was awesome to be able to come and do
Absolutely.
this. Maybe we'll be doing this once a month, maybe twice, every 2 months, maybe. So, but before we let y'all go, like we mentioned earlier on the show, limited time offers at Big City Wings. What they got? We showed you the video egg rolls. We showed you the
Everything
Big
was
City
10 out of
video
10.
fries. 10 out of 10 with this. Different wing flavors coming. Sweet sriracha Nero. That means
That
still
sounds
crazy
good,
to say
honestly.
it,
Yeah,
though.
that
It
sounds
sounds
good.
good saying it, but even like just saying the name sounds pretty cool. Spicy tahini too.
you can't forget about Angel's favorite
So
hoop
hoop
tea.
Tea as well. Lemon pepper gold wing flavor. The chicken dogs we just tried out. Which one you tried? I think it was
I got the OG.
the OG
It
chicken
was
dog?
great.
I tried the H-Town chicken dog. That shit was
And then we have the
fire.
what right here. We haven't
And
yet
this
to
one
try
is the dumpster chicken
the
dog.
dumpster chicken. There you go.
So yeah, they got some beignets for desserts and like we're talking about cocktails and on tap. I know Angel's a big fan of hoop tea. He might like twisted tea if that's the case. Stella Artois is coming on draft pretty soon. And then like I mentioned with the cocktails, El Jefe, the watermelon sour patch. You're a big sour patch person. This is your drink right here and the free bird. And like I mentioned in the half part of the show, they are having their celebrating 10 years at Big City Wings. So this Saturday it will start for them on July 5th. Make sure you come
Tomorrow.
out. Yeah, make sure you come out. A lot of sporting events coming around in H-Town like we were talking about. Tomorrow is Saturday. Well, Dodgers and Nationals, of course. Dynamo are playing away on the road. And then you got Sunday the Go Cup. This is a great place to come and pregame, eat before you head to the stadium. Like I mentioned, not far away from the stadium, 5 minutes away, if anything.
Just
from
on the second tunnel right here.
just don't get stuck in navigation right here down that tunnel. I don't know. We might have to come here before we can go to the ballpark, dude. I'm down.
Yeah, probably.
This
It's good.
fine.
Everything was good.
is. Yeah, but before we head
So
out,
we got some more
we
comments
got?
coming in. We got Rich Mendoza says, "I think you're better than John Boy Media." Brady Sanchez said, "No way" on the giveaway. So really excitement right there.
Yeah, very exciting. But that's the end, man. Finally, I don't know. I don't have the time on me, but
An hour and hour and 9 minutes now. So
and by the time we're done being
Yeah.
10 minutes, final thoughts, Cancer. What do you got?
no, just a really great crowd showed up, really great atmosphere we have behind us right here. Thank you to all the people who showed up because we do have some people here on the back tables eating that came to support us. So appreciate everything. Appreciate our support.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. I know y'all wanted to keep us here longer. Y'all used to these an hour 20, hour 15 episodes. So today we're gonna have a little short one here. But shout out to Big City Wings for providing them with this location and this outstanding food. I can't wait to get over with this podcast to tear this up because I didn't want y'all seeing me being a big back on camera. But I hope everybody has a safe and hydrated 4th of July weekend. Y'all stay safe no matter what y'all doing. Also take care of y'all pets out there. Don't leave them alone because pets do get scared of fireworks. So that's just something I wanted to point out. But make sure everybody does not drink and drive. Make sure y'all get in Lyft and Ubers or got a designated driver.
Like you said, don't drink and drive. Please be responsible. Over 21.
And if you are a DD, don't be 6 shots in, ready to go home.
I'm kind of hurt that you call me a big bag right now for eating. You just called me a big bag. God damn! I can't believe you just said that on live.
I
I can't
mean,
believe it.
I mean,
Whatever. But like Angel had mentioned at the beginning of the show, continue to follow us at Full Steam Ahead. We are on Twitter, TikTok, FSA Full Steam Ahead, on Instagram, and of course with the YouTube channel. If you want to subscribe to his YouTube channel, make sure you go hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell because we do have interviews coming soon. Like we were talking about, the All Star break, Angel's going to be out there talking to some of the Astro players and maybe some of the future stars with the prospects. So he'll be out there, and if you don't want to see our beautiful faces, you want to hear our lovely voices going on the river, on floating in the Revo, like he said, or going to Austin or
Rio.
Frio.
Oh, Frio. I was
I'm
like,
mistaken,
man,
it is a Rio.
hey, pass that
We're going
my
to
back.
Brazil, man. We're about to go to Brazil. If that's the case. But like I mentioned, follow us. It's a podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Like, rate, subscribe, feedback. We appreciate y'all. Like I said, episode 271 in the books. Until then, y'all stay safe. We'll give you that recap of that Dodgers series and get you that preview of the Cleveland Guardians for the last homestand at Daikin Park until they go to Atlanta, Georgia. Well, some of them. And then we'll talk about that selection show too coming this weekend. Till then, like I mentioned, everybody stay safe. Please drink responsibly. Be safe out there. And we'll talk to y'all soon.
Peace.